Alright guys, welcome back to the Tecmo 101 channel. Today I'm doing some more Tecmo training and I'm getting ready for the Hardcore Tecmo Super Bowl tournament this September in Chicago at our very own Demon Tap, where we held the Demon Tap Tecmo League. And today I'm going to start going over a few of the differences between Hardcore Tecmo Super Bowl and normal Tecmo Super Bowl. Alright, so let's start off and just take a basic look at it. We're going to be Detroit and we're going to go up against Kansas City. And let's begin. Alright, we are beginning now. Kansas City is going to get the ball, and we're going to go on defense. So you guys know the difference. In Hardcore Tecmo Super Bowl, there's the nose tackle dive, and there's also running. Receivers can play running back and have running plays. It's the anything goes. It's anything goes Tecmo, and that means there's going to be a few differences. Plays that used to work aren't going to work. We're going to start off with the fourth run on the Chiefs. And we're going to do the nose tackle dive against it. Like this. Press B. Plays dead on arrival. Now we're going to do the play action. Again. Oh, missed. It's been a while. Let's do that again. You still got to practice these things. That's the first thing to mention too. These things need to be practiced. So let's do the play action. And there's going to be a shorter video that I'm going to cut scenes out of this from. Alright, just like that, QB sack, Jerry Ball. Alright, let's, now we're going to do the pro form up the middle play. Again, I'm going to guess a pass. I'm going to take Jerry Ball. I'm going to get a safety here probably. Yep. So, already you've seen some of the issues you're going to face in Hardcore Tecmo Super Bowl. Hello! And some of those issues are going to be pretty prevalent, and you're going to find it hard to run offense. Now, I got the same playbook here, but of course I'm in coach mode, so it doesn't matter. So let's punt. We'll go over when you don't have... Now, this is a good nose tackle, too. That's another thing I want to go up. Some players are better at the hardcore, and Jerry Ball is one of the best. Detroit becomes a beast of a team because it can break up plays. Now we're going to do the first run. You remember, they've all been in this formation. And now, we're going to go for it. So, as you can see, you just have to be a little aware of your technique on that play so you don't give them a 40-yard run like I just did. But you can attack all these plays hardcore style. Let's do it again, and this time we're going to... See, even there, it's like, it's not, you can see where I could have gotten in to contain it. And then I can even, and another thing I could do is I can guess up at A. So even if they run these plays, if I guess up at A, well then they're going to be forced to, I'm going to be able to do the hardcore on all the other plays in the formation. Oh. Alright, good. Now the Chiefs have the ball back. So the last play in that formation is the second pass, a drop back pass. And with this low MS quarterback, he's dead on arrival. So 6 MS quarterbacks start to become a liability as well, because it's so easy to get in there. And if you practice that technique, you'll find that you could get to a lot of quarterbacks with 6 and 13 MS. You really need 19 MS to be immune from the hardcore action. Let's take the pro. We did the pro form run up the middle, but let's do it again. Let's do the pro form pass, which I'll probably be able to get to him. Finally, we'll do RNS sweep right. Just as an example of a play that isn't affected, that in fact is actually immune to it. The RNS plays, it's hard to do the hardcore against, and you could take it out of the play like that, and it's very important to keep that in mind. Now let me switch my team up. Now let me be Cincinnati. Cincinnati's Tim Crumry, 38 MS. compared to Detroit's Jerry Ball at 44 ms, still decent. Let's say Chicago. Chicago's William Perry has 19 ms. So let's see how successful I am with Chicago doing the same things against the same plays we just looked at. Alright. And this will give you an idea of some matchup calls you have to start thinking about, because you have to start thinking about the nose tackle and how fast he is. We'll kick the ball off to the Chiefs and we'll start some examples here. Alright, so first let's start off with down and A. With McNair running will be the fridge, and see how successful we are. Now you notice it's still very successful. Now we're going to do the pro form play. We're going to dive in. The technique's everything. The technique's everything in this. The play action. So these plays are just not viable in this format. This whole formation, which is a very popular formation in Tecmo Super Bowl, is not viable even with this level. Even with this probably the worst guy for this formation. And then with the 6 ms quarterback on the drop back passes, I'm even getting in, bringing him down like that. Let's keep going through some examples. So, going through the game, Jerry Ball is obviously going to be great at the hardcore format. The only person better than Jerry Bob is going to be Bob Nelson. Bob Nelson isn't as fast, but that 69 rushing power is amazing, and he's a total beast in this format. Other guys you should know, Pittsburgh. Great defensive line, 50 ms. Gerald Williams, absolute beast. San Diego, Les Miller, 44. There's a lot of these guys out there. If you go to tecmogeek.com, you can look down the list of offensive linemen, defensive linemen. But just to go over a few other examples, they're here and there, like New Orleans. New Orleans has a great one. Jim Wilkes, 50 ms, nose tackle. These are teams you need to watch out for. You also need to be careful with teams like Chicago. 19 ms nose tackle. You're not going to be able to catch up to a lot of QBs with that. They're just going to be able to run away with you. KC, another good example. Saluamela, 25 ms. Another team not really that suited for hardcore format. Miami, a 31 ms. You really want 38 ms and above. Let's take a look. Jim Waller, 38 ms. 38 ms and above, like Noonan, Dallas Cowboys, 44 ms. That's what you want. Alright. Continuing on with some examples, let's change Kansas City's playbook now. Let's take a look at the R&S sweep up, pro form play down, and the QB sneak. We're not going to care as much about the passes, and we're going to take another look at this. So man versus coach. I'll be Detroit again, going against KC. Alright, and I am having a brain fart. Oh, I'm kicking off with Detroit. Alright, ball's in the air. So, now you saw earlier I tried it against R&S sweep and it didn't work. So let's try against R&S sweep left. And again, I couldn't get into nosedive tackle. So the R&S sweep plays, at least the first two are immune. Let's try the up the middle QB action, see what happens. Yep. Now, there, it's like I could still tap my guy. It was a one-on-one. Let's do that again. And remember, the Chiefs have a great offensive line, so... Yeah, I couldn't get a dive in, but the Berg ran right into me. But so that up the middle play, but you're not going to be able to pull it off. So R&S plays are good because then, yeah, you can nose tackle dive the passes, but you can't nose tackle dive the running plays. And finally, let's look at the pro form sleep. Let's see if we can get a nose tackle dive on that. I think we can. No. Of course, then again, against that play, I could have taken a linebacker and ran through. And I'm actually going to do a full video on that play the normal way because I still haven't done a contained video on that. So, in fact, so the pro form play, I want to take a look at it again and make sure I can't get a dive bomb with the same motion that I was going against the other play. It's close, but... So, the pro form plays, the up the middle isn't going to work, but the sweeps will work. So you can combine the sweep with the up the middle play, but then again, the guy can just guess the sweep on you a few times or contain it really well, then you're not going to be confident in it. Alright. The other cool thing about the hardcore format is some teams are going to get running back upgrades. No more than Atlanta. Atlanta is going to get a great upgrade because now both Deion Sanders... Let's see, not Deion Sanders. I mean, Bad Moon Rising. You can make him a running back, whatever you want to. And if you even want to, Sean Collins. Another team, great upgrade, New England. All of a sudden, you could take Marv Cook, and you could get a better running back than this team has available with his 44 MS. Let's see, Houston has either a 63 MS running back now in Drew Hill or 56 MS Ernest Givens. There's a few upgrades. Miami as well. You can upgrade a little bit. Washington as well. Looking through some teams, trying to remember some great players. I mean, even the 49ers, if you want, I don't know why you would do it, but you can put Jerry Rice in at running back for a few plays and move him around. The Rams, you could put either Ellard or Anderson at running back. So you got to watch out for this because a lot of teams now can really improve the running game. I actually like this is one of the upgrades I like the most because now you can take Ellard or Anderson, put one at running back and one at receiver, and the Rams' offense will become even more deadly. That's another thing with Hardcore Tecmo Super Bowl as well. So basically we've got over the drop back passes are all susceptible to Hardcore Tecmo Super Bowl. At the same time, a lot of the run plays are susceptible. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show... Now the last plays we need to look at are the motion offense. So let's go look at the motion offense. And just for kicks and giggles, we're going to look at the two play actions on the motion offense. Wait, that wasn't the play action. This play action is with the motion offense. So let's see what happens with my motion offense. Man versus coach. I'm going to... Oops. What team did I give those plays to? Alright, we'll just be Pittsburgh this time since we gave those to Detroit. That way I'll show you guys more than just Jerry Ball in action. I'll give you a moment.
Who are you talking to?
I'm making a video, Mozab. Give me a moment. I'm making a video. I'm recording my voice. Okay, can you give me a moment? I'm almost done. It's right over here, Mozab. This is Mozab, everybody. Say hi, Mozab.
Hi.
Because now you're in the video, because I'm not going to re-record it, because I'm too lazy. Alright, Mozab, give me a moment. Lanice, Zahara, just give me a moment.
I'm not Zahara.
Lanice, I said Lanice. I thought Zahara was with you, too. Lanice. Alright. Lanice. Okay.
Say la.
La. Nice. Alright, Mozart, give me about a minute, please.
Say la.
Alright, Mozart, you gotta give me a minute.
Francis, say la.
Okay, Mozart. Give me just a minute, please.
La.
Mozart,
La.
can you give me a minute, please? I gotta finish this, okay? I'll be out in like 2 minutes. Just close the door.
Give us a surprise then.
I'm gonna give you a surprise later. You're supposed to behave first.
Okay.
Okay, so close the door. I gotta go to the candy store real quick, and these kids are not. Bye. Rolls up. Okay. Okay. Alright, this is where the screen break is, where I remove all that from the video, and then we go on. Mozart, you're not going to get any candy if you don't stop. Here, fix that curtain. Unwrap it. Unwrap it. Mozart, twist it so it unwraps. Kids. Oh. No, I'm going to do it. Alright? Now give me about 5 more minutes, Mozart, and then we'll be ready, okay? Yeah, well, I gotta go to the store and get it. I haven't got it yet. Alright, guys. Alright, so there was a long cutout of this, which is coming up because the kids were going crazy for candy. But now that we can finally finish this up here, so yeah, we're going up against Detroit now, and I was gonna show you discombobulated. This is all going to be edited anyway, so if anyone's actually watching this portion, I'd be surprised. So I'll probably leave those cuts from Mozart in. Who cares? Yeah, anyways, yep. So now we have, the hardcore office. So we're going to start with the first run of the hardcore and see what happens with the nose tackle. As I thought. The second run of the hardcore. So typically up the middle plays, you gotta be, if the second run really takes you down. So typically in hardcore tecmo, up the middle plays get broken up and sweeps work. That's just the rule of thumb that you need to keep in mind. And now we're gonna do the up the middle play. And we're going to do... let's do that again. Alright. And like I said, this motion needs to be practiced. Oh, I was in there. There was no problem. We'll do the play action now. Begins the play action, no problem. And finally... the other play action, just for kicks and giggles. And I couldn't even get in. Alright. Body keep turning over the ball. Alright, so that's a review of almost most of the plays. So keep in mind my rule of thumb. An up the middle play is probably going to be affected by hardcore technique. A non up the middle play is probably not. And now, as I say that, we better take a look at just another popular option. These are off tackle runs. Odds are all these 3 runs are going to work. And we'll just go back into it. Man versus coach. Man versus coach. Yeah, man versus coach. I'm going to beat Pittsburgh again. I'm going to go up against Detroit. Oh, I really hope the audio didn't pick that up. I really hope the audio didn't pick up those kids. You guys talk about something else! Unbelievable. Kids these days. And the internet. Jeez Louise. Alright. So now we're going to try to see what happens against the single setback off tackle plays. I couldn't get in. I did break it up with the defensive line, but I almost got taken out. So sometimes I think you might get taken out. Typically, oh, you can get in on these sometimes. So yeah, so these are like a catch-22. Sometimes you're going to get in, sometimes you're not. Wow. Yeah, those plays, that's not good for that. Let's try the sweep play. I think you can get in on this one. Let's see. Oh, you can't really get to him because of the blockers. But wow, you're there. You are there. So yeah, those two plays are out as well. I didn't think you'd be able to get in like that. And you may not be able to do that with a slower defensive lineman. It might depend on the team you're playing. But that's just some more issues with the hardcore Tecmo Super Bowl. Alright. Hitting reset again. Alright, so let's see. Now, playbook-wise. So, learning what we have about the playbook, there's a couple of options. If you like the run and sweep, you're in good luck. You could go with the run and sweep in these spots. You could go with this run and sweep. Of course, what you're going to see in hardcore is a lot of this. 3 shotgun plays to avoid those nose tackle dives. So all curls is all of a sudden going to become a play you're going to have to study and start learning, which I've been doing recently because it has a lot of options that are good in both hardcore and normal Tecmo. Now, this run slot is going to be a challenge in the hardcore format because now you can use R&S draw if you know how to use it, if you have a good offensive line. But actually, I wonder if and odds are you won't see too many nose tackle dives. It could be susceptible. Now, you couldn't use T-power dive because then it's just going to be dead on arrival. T-sweep strong has weaknesses in it. T-off tackle's a bad play. Weak side open might be more popular, but I would go with at least this motion play, the one-back sweep R, and know for sure you have a good play that hardcore Tecmo isn't going to ruin on you. And then this would be one of the playbooks I would use. The other playbook I would consider is going to this format right here and having 2 plays like that. Now, the 4th pass play, one back dive, which is one of my favorite plays right now, it's just not going to be usable. Pro T dive is out. Fullback power dive is out. Shotgun C draw has never been in. Neither is the reverse pitch. You might want to also consider the R&S QB run with a faster QB. Or you might want to put this in as a decoy play. I mean, that's the only way I see it in. Is like, but you're not going to be able to call it as often. You're going to have to lean more on this play and on your abilities to use these passing plays. It's really a test. You see, it's really a test of like strategy. You see, if I call these plays enough, they'll stop going for the nose tackle dive, then it will open up my up the middle play. But I think in Cincinnati, I use the up the middle play all the time. I wouldn't be able to do that safely because I'm inviting the nose tackle dive. All they have to do is guess this play or this play a lot, and all of a sudden, then they can go for the nose tackle dive, assuming I'm doing this play, once they scare me off of these 2 plays. Alright. Okay, so that's basically it on Hardcore Tecmo, which part 1. Part 2, we might do, I'll need another person so we could show avoiding, we could do some examples of which quarterbacks are better at avoiding the nose tackle dive and the technique needed. Because there's certain matchups where the nose tackle dive isn't going to work and there's certain matchups where it's going to work. The rule of thumb is if you have a 19 MS quarterback, the odds are they're going to avoid everybody except for guys like Gerald Williams with 50 MS or guys like Bob Nelson who are a beast and maybe Jerry Ball. So you want to you want to have a 19 MS quarterback. The 25 MS quarterbacks and above, they're going to be totally immune for the hardcore value. So all of a sudden, John Elway is a much better player now because you can run more run and shoot with him. Like KC, Steve DeBerg now, and Dan Marino, they're going to get you sacked a lot, so you can't run as much run and shoot. And you got to keep this in mind throughout the whole tournament. And which quarterbacks you want to use. San Fran has a 19 MS quarterback. Houston has Warren Moon, 19 MS as well. Teams like Washington, you're gonna use Stan Humphries more. And just going through. Nobody uses Steve Grogan, so why am I even going there? But I mean, there's like players like Vinny Testaverde, 31 MS. And of course, Detroit is one of the best. Detroit probably gets the most upgrades in this format because they come in with 2 high MS quarterbacks. They come in with Barry Sanders, but now you got Jerry Ball on defense to break up plays. So that's another team to watch out for is Detroit. The Rams, I already went over their upgrades as well. But, I mean, let's see. I mean, you're not going to notice that much with Tim Rosenbach, just a little. And, of course, this guy. I mean, this guy, this guy's just this guy. I mean, QB Eagles is a beast. Let's face it. If you think you're going to do anything against QB Eagles with hardcore tecmo, it doesn't make a difference. Alright guys, so if you watched the whole video, I thank you. Like usual, I'm going to do some video editing, and I'm going to cut it down. Those who watched got the special surprise of meeting Mozab, and maybe later on in a few years, he'll be making a lot of appearances on this channel or the other channels. We'll see. He just needs to get a little older now.